What is up, guys? I'm going to talk a little bit about the used boat market today. 2026 has been off to a little bit of a rocky start for the used boat world. And the used boat sales make up around 75% of all boat sales sold in the United States. And what we are experiencing is definitely a buyer's market where people are slashing prices. The COVID boom is come and gone, long since come and gone. And sellers are not realizing yet, mostly private sellers are not accepting the values of the boats today. And I'm going to show you a few of the price cuts that you're seeing on Yacht World. It's price cuts with all different brands, but worst of all are the brands that popped up during the boom that no one really cared about or heard of before. And the famous brands that everyone knows: Grady White, Sea Hunt, Boston Whaler, Pursuit. The strong brands are holding up better than most, but the pop-up brands that no one heard of during the COVID boom are collapsing in the used boat market. It is 100% a buyer's market, and I'm going to show you a few tips so that when you are looking for a boat, you know what to see, not what the salesman is telling you to look for. From a fiberglass boat, dual console, center console, and an aluminum pontoon boat. I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview. I've been in the boat business for 15 years. It's the only thing I've ever known. I'm just going to show you some basic things to look for, but also check out these price cuts that I'm seeing on Yacht World from brands all over the United States. You'll see many $10,000, $5,000, $10,000 price cuts, wacky boats like a Fiat car boat. No one ever really had a reason to purchase that, and now they're trying to sell it, so good luck on that one. But I'll show you a few things. You know, you want to look for a boat that's clean. There's many boats out there on the market. You want to look for a boat that was clean, well maintained, and isn't going to give you a headache. Easy things to look for: the gel coat. Obviously, when you walk around a boat, you want to see things like clean gel coat, but not necessarily freshly polished and waxed. Ideally, you can see one that's not all detailed up, because it tells you a lot about the boat. Now this one, you can see obviously there's some mold and algae, but the gel is in nice shape for not being detailed. A lot of boats on the market today, you'll find compound residue under the rub rail. You'll see swirls, and all that means is that somebody detailed the boat to sell it. So what are they kind of hiding, you know? You're looking for growth on the bottom. Honestly, you want to stay away from things like that. But I'm going to walk you through a few boats here. Center console, we're going to start with. I'm just going to do some basics where you can look, I guess, for the average guy, so you can look and see things that you might not always think about. And you can pop your head in a bilge and go, oh, that looks pretty good. Or why is the sales guy telling me, yeah, we don't need to go in there? And definitely another thing you need to do is make sure you go for a sea trial. Most private sellers are still hung up at those COVID prices. And if you're at a dealership, and a good one that doesn't want to waste the seller's time or their time, they're going to try and make sure the boat is priced accordingly in the market. So here's a new used boat that we just got in. Hasn't been cleaned or anything. This is Sea Hunt 234. Just came in, needs to be washed. So I'm not really showing any of that, but places to look, okay? You open up here, open up the bilge, and you can see, you know, is it clean? Shove the camera in. How clean is the bilge? It's obviously a very difficult spot to maintain and clean, but you're looking for a lot of mold, oil residue. How do the pumps look? Steel cased pumps are very difficult in the saltwater market environment, I should say, but pretty clean. I mean, there's no mildew or mold. Obviously, this customer did not neglect this boat, even though it's dusty. That's just part of marina life. Sellers are very motivated, near exhausted at some points. So it gives you the opportunity to quote unquote steal a boat like this. It's a 2025 contender. We just had to drop it another $10,000. It's got 30 hours on it, and it's like new. You know, you're looking for things on the exterior. Rust lines. How they take care of the bottom of the boat. Do they leave it in the water for a while? Are there barnacles? This boat is in primo shape, basically new, but you'll see there's no compound marks or buffer marks on the rub rail. So we know this boat wasn't detailed up to look good, unless the detailer was a pro at hiding it, but generally they're lazy. You're looking for corrosion, zinc anodes, the condition of those. Corrosion in this lower unit trim and tilt area, because that's another sign where the boat sat in the water. And the skegs, have the skegs been repainted? Some people spray paint their skeg and try and hide it, but it actually makes it look worse. Over here, bottom paint. You know, you're looking, why does the boat have bottom paint? Did it live in the water its entire life? Looking for different things like this. Obviously we had some work on the trim tabs, because those look like they're brand new. Things to point out as you're walking around the boat, so that you know what to ask, and if you hire a surveyor, you know who to ask those questions to. Through hulls, are they in good shape? But for a boat with bottom paint here, we're looking at a boat that has really no growth on it. Maybe this is a fresh coat of paint. Here's an example of a boat that is an amazing opportunity. A 2025 2400 Pathfinder Open. Loaded. Tower, dual screens, trolling motor, dual power poles, 350 Yamaha. Under 50 hours on it, and it hasn't sold. Asking price was $179 when we started, and it's $149.9, and the seller is definitely motivated and excited to get the boat moving. Obviously we have a newer boat here, but I'm going to show you some things that you need to look for on a new-ish used boat. Was the boat left outside and the cushions are roached? Are they soft and the memory in the foam returns quickly? This boat obviously has been extremely well maintained. We're not seeing corrosion or rust anywhere. But then you want to open up the bilge, look down in there and say, is there a lot of weird corrosion? That the boat maybe had water in it? And here you can definitely tell, no, there is a bit of mold and mildew. But that steel case pump's in great shape. No water line. No scum back there. And they had a service done in September of 25. Those are all things you want to see. During COVID, a lot of people that never owned a boat purchased one. That means they've never maintained one or understood what the cost of ownership was. Did they store it outside? How do those cushions look? That's very important, because reupholstering a boat can be a quick $5,000 mistake when you think you saved and got a good deal. I'll show you an example of some cushions and how you can tell basically just by looking at them. Was the boat kept inside? Was it covered? Or was it just baked, sun-baked and neglected? Here we have a textbook example of seats that were left out in the sun. You can see the cracking. Things like this can get pretty expensive in the boat world. Mildew on the top sides. You'll see obviously this boat was left out in the sun, but the cushions that are removable were pulled off and stored. You can see the discoloration there. Now this boat is priced with that in mind. Here I've got two identical boats behind me. One you can see was extremely well maintained. The bottom pristine. The hull is in excellent shape. And over here, obviously this guy doesn't detail it as much. So you want to look for things like rust around the fittings. Really kind of shows you how the seller is taking care of his boat. All this will be easily cleaned up with a simple detail. Here's another bilge to check out for you. Things like power steering pumps. Again, that's a steel cased pump. Looks mint. Fuel water separators show no corrosion. All things you want to look for because it can really tell you how someone maintains their boat. And again, no scum line or weird line showing that the boat had a lot of water in it. And the bronze through hulls look great. An easy thing to do as a buyer, turn the battery switch on. Flip the switches and test all the systems yourself before you even get to the level of a surveyor or having an inspection done. You want to check out the powder coating, corroded switch panels, and if you can look under the hood, look for salt buildup or anything that's out of the ordinary. If the lower unit's dropped during an inspection, check the midsection. Again, just looking for basic things like anything that stands out. Look at the impeller housing. Just check out the basics. You see melted plastic, you know there's something weird. The pontoon boat market, basically from 2021 to 2024, had troubles with the flooring. Every single manufacturer had this going on. So you want to look, is the floor a different color than the interior of the boat? And here you can see we have a little bit of discoloration, but nothing crazy. This boat clearly was stored covered its entire life. And things like that with most manufacturers are still under warranty. Regardless of the style of boat, you want to flip the switches, hit all the buttons, see that everything powers up and turns on, and if it doesn't, write it down, take a note. Obvious rips in the upholstery, but lift up all the seats. Sit on every cushion. Make sure the seats aren't blown out. Basic things like weird caulk lines. Does this look factory? And if it doesn't, you gotta ask why. When you're buying a new boat, you get the warranty. You get the peace of mind with that. But it's very important that you thoroughly inspect everything, including taking it for a sea trial and going on the water. Now, I'm not gonna go for a ride right now, but one thing you wanna pay attention to, does the boat sit level in the water? And watch the captain when he's driving. Is he using a bunch of trim tab? The boat should run naturally without any trim tab if the weight's dispersed evenly. You wanna check the pumps on land, but you wanna check them in the water and make sure they're pumping. Because a live well can spin up, but have something wrong with it to where it's not actually pumping. The sea trial is definitely a critical portion in the purchase. If you guys found a boat that you're looking at and have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out, leave a comment, and I'll let you know what I think. You want to make sure you find the boat you like, you do your own inspection, you do a mechanical inspection with a reputable guy or company, hook the motor up to a computer, see the hours, if it ever overheated, anything weird going on there. Put the boat in the water, run it. Run it like it would be your boat on the sea trial. Run through all the RPMs. Obviously don't beat the crap out of it. But check all those things, because if you're going to buy it, it is going to be your boat and you want to make sure you're buying something sound. We generally do an inspection on every single boat front to back so that we know the problems going into it with the seller. And that gives the buyer confidence. Spending a couple $100 for an inspection or $1,000 on a survey could save you tens of thousands in the long run. Even though it's a buyer's market, it doesn't mean every single price is overpriced. There are smart sellers out there pricing the boats accordingly. So do your homework and look at comps, other boats on Boat Trader, Yacht World, that kind of thing, and see, okay, is this boat priced fair? Do I need to make an offer 20% under ask to get it to where it would be fair? Just remember that all boats right now are not overpriced. Some of them, especially private sellers, are, and they are going to be the most difficult for you to negotiate a good deal because they either are stuck in a loan upside down or just haven't come to reality and don't need to sell. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, and I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me I did a terrible job here, but appreciate you all watching. Peace out.